race with passion and might. Our racing is our game. We're here to win the fight. In the virtual world, we race with passion and might. Our racing is our game. We're here to win the fight. GoatLocker Racing. Unity is one. We're more than just a team. A family of blood. We race for those who served, for their sacrifice and pain. So what our acts upon will never let them down again. GoatLocker Racing, a force of charity together we stand tall. For those who fought for our soul.
Flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new life.
If that doesn't get you going for some INVETS Sunday Series action, I don't know what will. Live from Kentucky Speedway, we're going truck racing here tonight at this 1.5-mile racetrack for round 6 of the GoatLocker Racing INVETS Trucks Series. I'm Dylan Coyle, joined alongside Shane Mundy, and we've got some good action to come tonight from this relatively flat and unfortunately no longer used in real life racetrack. Get a little look at where we are in Sparta, Kentucky. This track is just down below some other states right there. It's at the very northern tip of Kentucky. You see the turns 14 to 17 degrees, and Shane, it is a challenge for the drivers to make moves here.
Very challenging. Driving down into these corners kind of feels like you're on a bit of a roller coaster with that banking. I think we're in for a treat, no doubt. Definitely do kind of miss seeing this place on the real world schedule. As you speak of the schedule, take a look at the remaining races there for this season. Here's our point standings. But nonetheless, I know that we're in for a great show tonight, Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely. We're already halfway through this regular season, and the cut line is tight. A few drivers already locked in, many more positions still up for grabs. And Kentucky will play host to this race, to this round. Afterwards, we'll go to the road course, but the drivers already are gridded up, ready to go under the lights here. Pace truck still going to go around for a couple laps, and we'll be able to talk about who leads the field to the green in just a little bit. Look at the grid. It's David Duke and JJ Moore alongside each other in that first row, with Mac Brown, Lucas Lyons in row 2, Tyler Justice, and Johnny Caulfield are your top 3 rows. While in P7, we continue rolling down the field with only one Toyota in the top 6 is Craig Bonetrager alongside Jeremiah Holt, Benjamin Stevens, and Michael McCarthy form the top 10. Only 2 Toyotas and a sea of Chevrolets in that top 10. Chance Taylor, George Jewell, your first 6 rows, while Jeremiah Mullins and Andrew Player, your first Ford in the field in 14th. Scott Gilroy and Tommy Lemley in row 8, while Kendorian Davis just around, hovering below that cut line, starting in 17th, while Jacob Ellingson will be in 18th. Charles Abert, Brandon Wallace, your top 20, James Kaufman, Matt Knighties, Colton Langford, Brett Bieber in 23rd and 24th, while Bobby Germain, Mark Hollyfield start 25th and 26th. One driver did not set a qualifying time. That was Doug Ellingson. Lights on the pace truck are off. We are about to go rolling here, this 80-lap affair at Kentucky Speedway, highlighted by those green safer barrier walls all around the racetrack. Of course, the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award went to David Duke with a time in the 34s in this race. Coming through this restart zone to take the green for the first time tonight, Duke will lead the way. 80 laps to go here, and there's already a bunch of trucks trying to get going, rolling the tires. It's an uncomfortable start for a lot in this field, Shane.
Yeah, definitely saw some that weren't quite ready to get going, but hopefully they'll get those tires warmed up here in a couple laps. Definitely got a lot more separation than I think we were expecting to see early. Got some bobbing and weaving. It's David Duke at the front. Meanwhile, we got a bit of a battle for second starting to brew up here early.
Yeah, this battle for second will brew and continue to move on. This safety culture number 17 almost looks like I'm looking at a Shane Van Gisbergen truck of sorts in that 17 safety culture Chevy Silverado. Lucas Lyons has a lot of speed, and the 45 gets way high off corner exit into the wall. Yeah, and that's going to give the spot to Lyons.
Yeah, Lyons should be able to complete the pass of 45, not seeming too deterred by that contact down the back straight with the outside wall. Still hanging tough on the right side door of the 17. Lyons and Moore side by side down to turn 1. David Duke still holds strong as we got some new players here into the top 5. Caulfield in the 97 takes to the bottom, and he'll look to get clear down the back, and one truck brushes into the wall a little bit. That's Justice, I believe.
This is a very different racetrack than we've seen from other 1.5 miles on the schedule already. Of course, Las Vegas a little bit out it's much more banked. There's higher degrees of banking there. Kentucky, it does eat at the tires. Drivers will be using them up early. Some will try and hold off until later. It should be a one-stop race if it goes green the entire way. That would come either at the end of a fuel run, maybe around 25 to go, or at the halfway point. I would say a halfway point is always the best way to go about it, as there could be a pass for the lead side by side between Duke and Lyons. Lyons on the inside has some momentum. That lap, I think, was led by Duke, but Lyons just edges ahead going into turn 1.
Duke trying to hang it on the right rear. The 17 won't be able to do it. Lucas Lyons will go to the lead off turn 2. Coming around 275 laps remaining. The 45 holding strong there in third. And look at the 97. He is making quick work after joining this top 5. He wants third. Now he's going to be to the outside of the 45 as we come down the front straightaway.
Some great racing in the opening 5 laps here at Kentucky Speedway. Lucas Lyons cleared Duke. He does take the lead. Now Duke has to cover off some more competition from in behind the 45 and the 97. Sponsorless white and lime green truck in P4. 27 drivers in the field tonight. One of the higher car truck counts in this early season. 6 of 15 total races, 6 of 10 regular season races. We're riding on board with Scott Gilroy in the 04 Ford. Driver currently in 12th. He's not bounced around too much on the cusp of the top 10, but he is going way high up the track there.
And noticing a lot of these guys, it seems like they all drive it into the corner a different way, some more aggressive than others, and that kind of starts some bottlenecking, some chain reactions, which I feel like if that does not let up, we could probably see somebody maybe get a little bit of an unintentional boot on corner entry. It's a tough corner to enter. It's hard to enter at the right speed without slipping up because of the intense banking and just the change in banking when you go into the corners. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops as we go.
Take a look at the temperature. It's no surprise that the air and track temperatures are quite close to each other. 78 air, 81 degrees track. Reason being is it's under the lights. There's no sun to really bake into the asphalt to give any extra track temperature. So in relative terms, it is a cooler racetrack, not going to eat the tires up as much as if it were a day race, which I'm sure for a lot of these drivers, they're probably very happy about. They can go a little bit harder, don't have to worry about sliding the tires as much. But for the drivers who are the best at saving and preserving the Goodyear rubber, they might wish that it was under daytime conditions, Shane.
Yeah, absolutely. And just ahead there, we're on board with Jacob Ellingston there. I saw, I believe, the yellow Maconi Entertainment truck. Got an onboard shot here, something a little out of the ordinary for us. We're always up in our game here at Maconi Entertainment, so this is a pretty cool shot on board with Jacob Ellingston, currently running in the 15th spot. And that is as high as he has ran. He's been down as low as 18th. And I definitely will agree with you, back to what you're saying about the time of day that this is being run at. I definitely would not be very fond of driving this racetrack under the hot sun. And I think these guys would definitely agree.
I would certainly echo exactly what you were saying. You got a good look at some of our new systems with driver cams. If you are a driver watching a replay of this race and want to see yourself in, just make sure to give us a shout out in the Discord server on GLR, or if you're in any other Maconi Entertainment broadcast, make sure to do the same. We'll always try to work on new technology, new software in these broadcasts as we continue to see moves. And by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Maconi Setup Shop and Maconi Entertainment. That's really the meme of, that meme of Barack Obama giving himself his own medal.
The medal, yeah.
That's what we're doing right here. MaconiSetupShop.com is the home for setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, event promotion, and more on the iRacing service. Subscriptions are available for as low as $8 a month. It's the official setup shop of eNASCAR and the official series sponsor of the NASCAR C-Fix Series. And hey, you're watching it on Maconi Entertainment, some GoatLocker Racing INVETS Trucks Series Sunday Series action. Jeremiah Mullins currently running in 10th, has been as low as 13th, but this is his high point in the first 12 laps of the race for him.
Yeah, so far it's been kind of slowly but steadily making some ground up in that kind of Dale Sr.-esque, kind of a modern take on a gold Bass Pro Shops paint. That's a pretty cool ride that he's got. And he's out of the Virginia's Club. We've had that conversation before. Y'all were giving me a hard time about that many weeks ago, but he's got it in the top 10 right now, so we're sitting pretty. And it's still Lucas Lyons at the head of this pack, but how about a truck that I feel like we haven't talked about too much, the 24 of Stevens there, the PBR Chevrolet. He's looking for second here.
Yeah, pretty awesome scheme, I'd say, on that 24.
Definitely sharp. Kind of got a bit of a vintage look with that number on as well. That is a sharp ride. There's some great looking, and there we go, another onboard shot.
I absolutely love it. Another onboard for sure. And this does give us a good look at the concentration that goes into what these drivers are dealing with in these relatively short races, and also a nice little insight into, you know, everything that makes a driver, makes one of the competitors in this series tick. And you see, he's the 24, Benjamin Stevens. 24 has the helmet with the flames. He's got some Jeff Gordon die cast, a Jeff Gordon hood. So he's definitely a Tony Stewart fan growing up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't go wrong with Old Smoke. And you know, I feel like if he you know thought about it a little more, he would have put a 20 on that, being as big of a fan as he is. We can't drag that out too much. But
I was surprised you were trying.
I was trying really hard, but we almost had a battle for third there as the field races by. Some decent separation, but still some good battles throughout the pack, mostly single file for the most part. As we come around to, we'll have 63 laps to go, so still a lot of time left in this one. And we have been clean and green for the most part so far, and it's definitely been green. I say clean for the most part because we have definitely had a few sliding around, getting up into the wall just a little bit.
The moment you say that is the moment things usually go to a worse mark, as there's a bit of a wiggle right in behind the three.
I feel like you're talking about memes. I feel like the one with the cat where they got all the knives pointed at him. That's the one I feel like right now.
Just need a meme broadcast where everything we say is in meme speak.
Oh yeah, we'll have a bunch of images prepared. We'll just put them up on the screen.
And I should have, as we see three wide right here, I should have waited until the Maconi setup shop number 18 was shown to give that, you know, that Obama,
that big shout out.
Yeah, the ad read. That would have just been perfect synergy amongst the brand, and I waited to do that as Michael McCarthy slides up to the outside. He's trying to get through this really big hornet's nest of trucks fighting all in the top 5. Oh, the 97 trying to fight to get inside.
Look at this
a little bit higher. This is crazy. McCarthy on the outside of 3 wide, the 97 in the middle, the 36 down low. And McCarthy decides to just back the corner up and do a bit of a swap over, looking like a road course racer there.
Yeah, definitely. This heated up quick. This intensity ramped up. Oh, and we have contact!
Save it! He's gonna save it!
He does it! Oh, pizza. That was a great save out of, was it the 36? Yes. Oh, the 97 Cofield's gonna lose a lot of ground from this. Oh my goodness. With as snappy as these trucks can be once they break free, I can't stress enough how impressive of a save that was.
My gosh. I mean, I can't even quite say that it was the 97 helping, because that second bump almost sent him around a little bit more. Maybe he came down just to try and save him, but that was, you could see the save happening in real time. you know,
Yeah,
as the 99 gets
absolutely.
shuffled up high.
And he was getting pushed for quite a bit through that corner, so he had plenty of opportunity to lose that truck, and honestly, justifiably. But he was able to keep it together. Obviously, the downside is lost a lot of ground. The tires definitely took a bit of a beating sliding like that, but he'll wind it back up and try and make another crack at this. Still a lot of laps left here.
So Brett Bieber is trying to get involved real quick, and you know, we talk all about those Dale Earnhardt Bass Pro Shops looks, and is that not a Good Wrench Wheaties throwback?
Oh yeah, Brett Bieber always rocking this awesome truck. I don't know how I feel about the triple numbers, but
Was that a pit stop I just saw?
I think we did have one. Yes, Brandon Wallace has pulled off.
I'm not sure why the 99 has pulled down into pit road. This is quite early. However, coming in now should get him to the end of this race on fuel. It's just tires will be screaming for mercy.
Yeah, by the end of this race, absolutely. It's exactly what I was going to say. It's definitely an interesting call, but I mean, we've seen stranger things work out. But we'll just have to keep an eye on this 99 of Wallace and see what he's up to here in a little bit.
I really do like the change of strategy. You know, it is something different. And hey, maybe you saw a lot of drivers starting to get a bit scrappy and struggling a bit more. Maybe he wants to just roll the dice. I don't know what the window is for this strategy to really pay off, but I guess when you're running in the bottom half of the field for most of the race anyway, it's worth taking a shot, right? And changing how things go. So I am curious to see how that one will play out for Wallace as trucks continue to go side by side. Just crazy stuff.
It's definitely worth a shot. I mean, it's like you said, if you're running, you know, at a less than desirable position, you know, it's obviously worth trying. But more often than not, jumping it super early doesn't typically run that well in the long haul. But we'll see. Maybe he'll catch a caution. You never know. But the downside is, even if he were to catch a caution, he did lose a lap. We got the 36 who just went for that big slides. Jewel will make it to the pit box, so I believe this is truck number 2 on pit road. I don't think we've had any other takers yet.
You know, the one thing that is a very, very difficult thing to simulate that iRacing does not have is the flat spotting of tires, as Jewel sped and will have to spend more time in pit road. That is, I mean, that's pretty much competition over for the man who drifted big time in turn 3 and 4. That's unfortunate. But what I was trying to say is that with that slide in the real world, he would have flat spotted those tires and would have pretty much had to come into the pits almost immediately after that. Because it would have had a horrible vibration and just a lack of rubber in the spot that he did spin it. Lots of trucks going down into pit road right now, and I do have to wonder if there's anyone thinking of a two-stop strategy because they're coming down so early and these tires might be screaming a lot. Now, I don't think that's the optimal strategy, which is why I'm surprised, but I am curious. I do like it as we're seeing Ellingson now go into pit road.
Yeah, he was... I don't know if anybody could obviously see him, but I saw him actually wave there with his onboard camera on, as if he was waving when people let him know he was coming in. But respectful even in the virtual world. But he's down pit road, and we definitely have had a lot more earlier than I think either of us were expecting Dylan to come to pit road. So maybe Wallace wasn't too far off with that strategy.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I really enjoy seeing what, you know, different drivers think of the strategies, and maybe he was just first to the punch here, and it certainly looks that way. I think this might be a two-stop kind of race. I don't know. I feel like, you know, if you've got the the ability to stay out there and not push the tires too much, one stop would be the best way to go about it. But if you want to drive at 100% at all times, and you're going to destroy those tires as Jermaine makes a deep dive down the inside to head down pit road. No, maybe not. Yes, please. Yeah.
Yep, here he
Yep.
goes. He didn't make you a fool, Dylan. So here he
okay.
goes. It's got a sharp ride on this thing, too.
Man, lots of good paint schemes out here tonight.
Got the pink rims for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I'd have to assume. That's always cool to see.
Very, very cool. In the real world, the Eric Jones Foundation had those pink window nets donated to all the Cup teams. Oh, it's very cool. And speaking about real world NASCAR news,
yeah, we found out something from our own Jeff Maconi here.
Oh my gosh, crazy stuff. Alex Bowman has been disqualified from the race results in the playoffs race at the Roval, and he has missed the next round. Now Joey Logano is in, and this is not a get punked situation. This is a
this is as real as it gets. This is from I believe Jeff sent us Bob Pockers's tweet, so I thought maybe we were being messed with on broadcast, but I think we're seeing the real deal. As for what we got here at Kentucky, you were talking about how much you liked this PBR truck of Benjamin Stevens. It is now leading the show here.
Yeah, Lyons is going to fly on through. Stevens was first to the punch, but Lucas Lyons has got some speed in that Shane Van Gisbergen-inspired scheme in the 17 truck.
Can't go wrong with a Shane, you know?
I wonder who said that, Mr. Shane Mundy?
Oh, no, I think our producer DJ keyed up there.
That might be the case. Down the inside, taking a look. Yeah, it's done.
He's gonna probably make very quick, very easy work of the 24. Going back around here, and the crazy thing is we're still coming to 46 laps to go. So there's a lot of time left for anything and everything to happen. Kind of have to go back to what you were saying just a few moments ago about this being a two-stop race possibly now, and I am by no means smart when it comes to being a crew chief. Definitely not in the real world, but not even the sim world. But I cannot disagree with that because we've seen these guys pit so early. We talked about the tires just being miserable by the end of this run. So I don't know. I can't imagine that you would want to go the rest of the distance on this set of tires.
So a bit of update from Race Control is from this race on, it is now 60% fuel. So because of that, they would have never made it in a one-stop kind of deal. They would have not had to save the tires. So it does make sense now to have it be a two-stop. They're going to go 100% the whole way, knowing that they need to get fuel with a 60% tank. That does change the game quite a bit, especially at a mile-and-a-half race. That's 80 laps long at Kentucky, or for anything else. And I enjoy that. I enjoy more forced stops. I enjoy more strategy, kind of games that you can play. It just opens the room up for more chaos, which, we enjoy as we...
Yeah, because we're not out there in it. That's the best way that you can put it.
This is true. This is very true. As Charles Avert currently in 14th, he's trying to make that platinum-looking race car go forward, running close to his highest point in the race thus far as we near that halfway point.
A respectable run here so far, 14th, and working on getting 13th out of Davis in that kind of black and neon green 51 truck. And Brett Bieber looking on, might try and get both of them. He's going to look to the inside of the 7 as we go into turn 3. And talking about the info that we found out about the fuel percentage that they are given, we've definitely seen Kentucky in real life play a factor in fuel mileage races. So this is nothing new for Kentucky.
One of the most out of left field Cup Series victories happened here, I believe. Or maybe I'm going crazy by saying that. Didn't Cole Custer win here?
He did. That was
Okay.
his only win that year, and it took Rookie of the Year away from my guy. So, trust me, I remember it a little too well.
Well, Custer will be going back into Cup Series action next year with Haas Factory Team as the lone charter in the
Excited
Cup
to see
Series
what
there.
they can do as well. I think he's definitely earned it.
Yeah, I am curious, but we do also, as this race has gone green and clean, or clean and green, whatever way you want to say it thus far at the halfway point, we haven't had a chance to really highlight some of the partners and primary sponsors who make it happen for GoatLocker Racing. So let's talk about them. How about INVETS, the primary title sponsor of this Sunday Truck Series? INVETS is founded by veterans for veterans and aids in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure their success and happiness. They are a veteran nonprofit here in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to the state to live and work.
And that's some great stuff.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And why not continue on with Lincoln Tech? Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They are one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation, with 23 campuses. They are the title sponsor of the Fall Series and a very large partner of GoatLocker Racing. As there's some contact and a caution is coming out. That came out of nowhere. The 73 turned, 38 to go. Caution number 1, and
now,
that felt very unnecessary.
Yeah, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really do, but that did not look very good. That is Holt in the 73. We're going to go straight into a replay of this one. See what happens this over. This is the lap of.
This is the lap before and coming to. So Holt's
49,
trying.
I believe, is the one that ends up making contact, right?
Well, let's see it. So the 73 goes down the inside of Bunkrager and
Trying to use that 97 as a pick
Caulfield
on him. And
in the 97.
they're going to go 3 wide. Oh, it's 97, I believe. Yes, he just. Oh. It's like he didn't even want to acknowledge that he was there, almost.
Yeah, that's very weird. Johnny Caulfield just turned around and Jeremiah Holt. I don't know if Holt came up a little bit, but
Do we maybe have like an overhead shot of this?
this is just
Because it just
weird.
looks very awkward from straight on. Here we go. This will tell the tale a little better. They're already pretty tight. I mean, he's in the middle of a 3 wide situation.
what in the world?
I just don't. I feel like that doesn't really look that intentional, but it doesn't look.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's
Like,
100% at fault for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, no doubt about that. It's just kind of baffling. I'm not sure, but either way, intentional, unintentional.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Still,
there's still a very destroyed 73 truck because of it.
well, nonetheless, this has brought out the first caution of the race and gives all the drivers a chance to reset, get some more fuel added into the car, get some tires. See one truck in the background having to back up a bunch of times to get into their box. So, I don't think that they can make it to the end here on fuel. They might have to come back out here. Tyler Justice, I believe, stayed out. So everyone, I think, has to stop one more time for fuel unless there's a bunch of cautions. Interesting strategy calls there.
Yeah, I tell you one thing. If you're gonna stay out here, what I would expect you to do or want to do is push that clutch pedal in, given the fuel situation for some. But this definitely did help a lot. You know, we were talking a decent bit before the caution came out about, you know, the tire situation with some guys pitting fairly early. So we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out a little bit.
Well, with this caution bringing out some pit stops with around 36 to go, what we're hearing is a lot of team chatter saying that none of them will be able to make it to the end of this race. They'll be around 5 to 6 laps short on fuel. So that brings up a very interesting bit of strategy. Do they pit with around, halfway through this run, thinking it stays green? That would give them the best chance on tire life. Do they take tires if they go back in? This is all interesting. What I think they do
This is very
is,
much faking things.
I would think that they'd go to as far as their fuel tanks allow them to go and then come back in for a quick splash and dash with around 5 laps to go at the worst. That's what I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is absolutely thrown a massive wrench into things. We were green for so long that I wouldn't be surprised if some were even under the impression that we probably weren't going to see a caution tonight. Obviously, that will not be the case. I think, you ask what you do. I wouldn't even really know where to start if I was in this situation, but I will say you're probably going to see a lot of varying strategies. We're already seeing that now, but even more so now that we've kind of split some of them up. You have to do what you think is going to put you in the best position possible to win. And sometimes that's going to, be more of a risk than others.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting to see what happens here once these trucks do get back to green flag racing with just over 30 laps remaining here. And with the strategy, there's just a lot of things that can still happen here. I just think it's going to be a splash and dash at the end. But tire life will definitely come into play, Shane. And I feel like, we all this talk about Kentucky and, it being a night race, not sliding around as much, it's still going to lead. It's still Kentucky, right? It's high speed, lower banking. You're still going to be sliding up the track.
Absolutely. And we're having a little technical difficulties on our booth end here, trying our best to kind of keep up with it. Obviously, it still looks good on the viewers end, to kind of bear with us as we work through that. We will get it fixed as we can. Going off the Twitch feed, we are back under green, and I know that it is a little bit behind what we do see, so I'll try and just give a generic update until we have the feedback. Oh, there we go. All right, good deal. Crisis averted, and a battle for the lead right to get us going.
We are seeing that side-by-side racing on the restart. Chance Taylor as well is trying to hold on to that lead. Tyler Justice side-by-side. And now we talk about the tire life of the drivers who did come into the pits, because you can see that lead already narrowing up very quickly. And there's a lot of drivers who have a lot of fast trucks. It's going to be more like pack racing here, and I don't think we're at the end of the caution periods.
Absolutely not. If they keep racing this way, I don't doubt it. And here we go. Lucas Lyons. I think he led that one.
Just easy for Lucas Lyons to just fly on by and clear everyone. The 14 has just held up Tyler Justice, who tried to get a run on the outside there, falls back to third and fourth place. The drivers with no tires taken from that pit strategy, they're going to be screaming by the end of this one for some tires. That, I feel like the, Justice or anyone else who stayed out, to me, the strategy would be come at around 15 to go, 20 to go, 4 tires, and just see where the cards kind of lie down, unless there's a caution. I don't know about that call.
I definitely agree. I mean, I feel like anywhere from 15 to 20 to go, or in between even, that'd probably be where you'd want to come in. I think, maybe some of these guys that stayed out were hoping for a quicker caution, and it doesn't look like we're gonna get that, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Got the 45 all the way on the very bumpy flat, trying to get 4th place here.
Oh, the 45, there's going to be some contact. That's some brutal racing with drivers who have fresh tires versus worn. By the way, the 36 of George Jewell changed lanes prior to the start-finish line, has to come down pit road, a pass-through penalty handed by Live Race Control and GoatLocker Racing. So that's unfortunate for Jewell. Not a good way to enter this final third of the race here at Kentucky as Lyons leads, Moore, Stevens, and Justice all fighting over P2.
Yeah, this is going to turn into quite the battle. 33 honestly putting up a bit of an impressive fight given their situation. The 45 is clear of the 24 for now into turn 3 of the 2nd position. And it looks like he'll definitely hold strong of that, pulls away by a few car lengths, and we have a caution yet again. With 28, about 27 to go, is the 30 truck.
Yeah, the 30 of Tommy Lemley was around there, and Lemley was actually the one who missed his pit box on this last caution period, so bad night just getting a little bit worse, and I expect everybody to come into the pits here, which has paid off in dividends for someone like Justice. That is a massive spin.
Surprisingly, not a lot of, at least definitely not visible damage to this truck. He's racing the, keep an eye on the 96, that kind of Bobby Labonte-esque Interstate Batteries truck. Mac Brown in the 96, keeps it behind him. Does the 30 get... No, not yet. Rushes the wall, and they met up at a bit of a bad point. I think one of them might have been blinking. That's why our camera swapped at the moment that happened, which could also, Dylan, have played a factor in why that happened. So we'll take another look here. From about like a spotter's point of view here down the back straightaway. The 30 gets a little high. He brushes the wall, but no, he just comes straight down.
I mean, it's almost like the first incident where just drivers aren't necessarily paying attention to who's on their inside or outside.
Yeah.
I wonder
Very
what the spotter call was at that point, because that was pretty clear.
Yeah, and some of these guys, they do, I would assume, choose to use a real human spotter, but most, I would assume, just have the generic AI iRacing spotter, and they are not always that reliable. So
we're going to be right back after a short break to hear from our partners here. 26 laps to go under caution, gearing up for the final stretch of racing here in the INVETS Trucks Series from GoatLocker Racing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Back at Kentucky Speedway for the INVETS Trucks Series GLR racing action on Maconi Entertainment. Jam Printing and Promotions is from Plainfield, Indiana. We're local, we're veteran certified, and when we do well, we can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with GoatLocker Racing since the very beginning. They provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. Jam is GLR's go-to promotional company. They are sponsoring the Pull Award across all series this season. Pull Award, of course, was won by David Duke earlier tonight. And we're about to go back to Green Flag Racing with 23 laps to go here from Kentucky. It can be a full-on dash to the end. No one needs to come in for tires or fuel at all. What are we expecting here, Shane?
Ooh, boy. I wish I could tell you. This is going to be interesting. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I know I say that quite often, but it's just so hard to predict these things. You know, you think you know what you're going to see, you get something completely different. I will say, keep an eye on Moore in the Mobile 1 truck on the outside of the front row. See how tight he wants to hold it against Lucas Lyons to maybe try and clear him on the exit of turn 2. The 19, could he get a good enough launch to make it happen? We're about to find out. We're going to have 23 laps left.
Into the restart zone right now. Lucas Lyons has looked like the truck and the driver to beat in this one. Gets a great jump. Everyone else caught sleeping. We're back to Green Flag Racing here around Kentucky. That's a 5 to 10 truck length lead already. It's just showing just how good he's been in tonight's race.
And got that restart gear in it. My goodness, he is just rocketed away. Got some bobbing and weaving, some jockeying for position here down turn 3. The 13 goes way up the racetrack. 27 is going to get clear for that position, put him into the top 5. 24 is still lurking around as well. That's Ellingson in the 27.
Man, this is just some wild racing right now. They all know they don't have to really worry too much about conserving the tires for more than this final run. However, 23 laps is enough to start to feel the effects if you go way too hard in the beginning here.
Look at the 24.
I mean, this is just unbelievable racing. Yeah, Benjamin Stevens in that 24 trying to make up some moves. A truck into the outside wall. This is crazy action.
These guys are driving it so hard into the corners, and, you know, talk about kind of multi-groove racing. The 24 truck drove it in so far into turn 3 to get to the outside of the 19. I thought surely he would just get out of the groove, overdrive the corner, and lose some momentum. Instead, he just blew the doors off the 19 truck and has moved into the top 3 now. It's just still got a wad, just a complete hornet's nest back here.
Oh my gosh. This is craziness here. 3 wide action. We're almost going 4 wide as we cross around the dog leg, or I should say that tri-oval down the front stretch. You've got trucks up into the wall. You've got everyone fighting for that same bit of space. Unbelievable racing action here from Kentucky Speedway.
That's silver and red 25. That's about where I'd want to not be right now. I mean, he is just right in the middle of it all. Trucks everywhere, everybody just not giving an inch. Look at them go over the bumps on the apron. I always talk about how bumpy of a surface Kentucky Speedway has. And trust me, even in the sim racing world, you feel that too.
God, God, what a beautiful sound.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, the 99 just sends it into turn 3. Somehow, just barely scraped the 25, and we're spinning. It's Duke.
78.
Is he going to catch it? I don't know if there's going to be a caution. He's going to catch it and just run through the grass. That is pretty much competition over for Duke, and unless there's a caution to bring him back up to speed. But what a shame.
Yeah, great save, but unfortunately will not get a break out of this. But there's still definitely a possibility that he will not be the only one we end up see go around. These guys, just look at how many different lanes they're taking, the runs that they're getting on each other on corner exit, no matter if they're on the bottom, the middle, the top. And we've already seen a few examples tonight of guys closing in on a truck maybe faster than they expected to. Contact made, and I think that's what we saw here with David Duke, and he was already in the middle of the hornet's nest right here.
And let's just replay here with Duke, and it's just the middle of 3 wide. It's not very clear to anybody else that it's 3 wide, and he kind of just goes up a bit, and I got to say that's more on him. He kind of just sent himself up a bit too hard, and he's lucky to save it. A bit of airtime there coming through that final part of that quarter-mile track, that escape road for these big track series.
Now look at this. They got the 19 getting a whole bump draft from, I believe, the 10. Yeah, the red 10 truck there. Had him all the way on the truck bed, down the entire back straightaway.
Tell you what, Wallace is really going for it. He keeps using the brakes to its best ability. It's putting some major abuse onto that truck for him. Almost comes up, almost hits Kaufman.
Boy.
Kaufman comes up and does kind of tail slap the truck that was on the outside of him. My goodness. Benjamin Stevens continues to lead the way, coming to 14 laps to go here at Kentucky. 21 miles until we see the checkered.
Yeah, it's best that Benjamin Stevens doesn't know about what's happening behind him, because he does not want to see the caution flag. He got such an amazing, he's taken the lead since we panned away. I thought that the 17 had kept it up front. We got a new leader now.
My gosh. That's if he wins, then I think Benjamin Stevens has to crack open a nice cold PBR.
He's got to do the Stone Cold selling
the Stone Cold Custer kind of move.
Yeah, a bit of a mix of them. But.
Yeah, and what a better place to do it than Cold Custer's first Cup win.
Exactly.
At Kentucky Speedway. So
yeah, Brett Bieber making some moves back here. We already talked about the Wheaties Silverado there.
Yeah, Bieber's having himself a pretty solid night, currently in 7th. He's been in every position you could have possibly been in. The math ain't mathin', though. He's gained 17 spots, not 16 there. I bet you it updates as we cross the line.
Yeah, he has.
There we go.
He has definitely had quite the drive up here. Start all the way back, like it's there. 24th position. We had 27 trucks at the start of this race, but he was almost right at the tail of it. And here he is inside the top 10, coming back to 11 laps to go for Benjamin Stevens. And there's still a lot of action, multi-lane action for position here. Chance Taylor trying to hold on to the 8th spot. Davis to his outside, trying to take that away. He'll have it at the stripe.
14 is, I think Chance Taylor is starting to really suffer here, and I don't know what exactly happened. He did not take tires 2 cautions ago on that first caution. I'm pretty sure he did this past one, but he is going much more slowly.
Oh, look, there's our friend, the
Petey.
Howard. Yeah.
Let's go, Matt 90s, the Virginian.
He's
a big bump.
He's going to give a bump to the trash panda on the back of this thing right here.
I mean, why not? Why not? The 99 continues moving up through the field. And I have a question. Why is the 64 the default number in iRacing?
That is a great question. I think it's not a very commonly used number.
Yeah, wasn't it the default in NR 2003 and everything?
83, I think. We had
You're right.
Fred,
You're right.
It was Fred Jones.
Yeah.
in our 2003.
The 83. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a 64 and
Not
iRacing.
this 25 of Lamford, by the way. He's repping a little bit of a different look, but strongly inside the 11th. Usually see the just Diet Mountain Dew colors on the truck. Look at this thing.
But it's Code Red.
Code Red. This is a sharp take on a pretty awesome Dale Jr. paint scheme from the early 2010s, kind of 2012, 2013. And it's kind of done its own version of that. It's a sharp truck. And the 99 continues to move on up. You were mentioning him a few laps ago, Dylan Wallace here. He's just laying it all out there. And there's nothing left to save. See if he can't maybe find a way to crack a couple more spots here, maybe get a top 10.
Well, my concern for Wallace is he's been just sending it into the corner so hard. You've got to figure the tires are going to hit this this point of no return at some point, where he's been pushing them so hard. I mean, it's worth it, right? There's 7 laps to go. You might as well. He's right on that rear end of 90s, and we'll see how it goes in just a few more laps. But Benjamin Stevens continues to lead. Lucas Lyons is trying to hold on for second, while JJ Moore is in third. Stevens has just checked out. Where in the world is Stevens? Has he actually checked out?
Yeah, I think he might. Oh my!
Wow!
Goodness. Gone.
Yeah, he's just he's gone. He's in a different zip code right now.
And there's second right about now.
Yeah, if you do the math, that does look like 2.239 seconds.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking, Dylan. Thought
Yeah,
the same thing. Looks exactly like that.
It's a guesstimate. Well, here's the question: has Stevens pulled this off magnificently, or will the next 5 laps result in him losing tenths on tenths back to second and third place? It's kind of the same question I'm having over Wallace in that 99 machine. Continues to try and push the issue here. The 51 is there as well. Could it be a top 10 effort for Wallace? We'll have to wait and see, as we're coming to 4 laps to go next time by.
Yeah, this is about the time where if you're not named Benjamin Stevens, you would love a caution to maybe have another shot at it, or some guys might be content with where they're at. But if you're Benjamin Stevens, you definitely just want to get back around here a few more times as quick as you possibly can, and get interviewed by the Maconi Entertainment people.
That is fun.
Yeah, it's a great way to get some fun interaction out there. Pays to win.
Absolutely, it does. Way up into the wall is the 45, and I'd say that's probably the last ditch effort to catch Lyons right now.
He had a little bit of contact.
You got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful we don't get a caution here and set up a bit of green-white checkered racing. Lyons is in second, and that'll stay that way for now.
Yeah, after he brushed the wall, he lost a ton of momentum, and the 3 truck just closed to the back of the 45 almost immediately. And the 45 was not willing to give him any space to the 3. Kind of had to just give him a little tap right there. But he's going to hold third for now, is Moore. Coming back to the white flag for Stevens.
Well, I'll tell you what, Benjamin Stevens is holding his breath, hoping that Hornet's Nest does not wreck in the next 12 to 15 seconds, because if it does, we're going to have a restart, and this is Stevens' race to lose now as he rounds turn 3 and turn 4 to see this white flag. And Stevens has really come out of a cannon here in this final stretch of the race, doing a fantastic job. Next flag will be the checkered, and just a wonderful show of dominance after that last restart for Benjamin Stevens in the 24 Pabst Blue Ribbon beer machine. That Chevy Silverado, it's going to look good doing burnouts here on the front stretch, and if I have one thing to say about it, I hope we see a little bit of stone cold Benjamin Stevens pouring some PBRs in him, because this is his race. He wins it here at Kentucky Speedway.
It was definitely in an impressive fashion. We saw Lyons on that restart, that final restart. He got the lead and he was gone. So Stevens had to run him down, and then to set the pace that he did after is just very impressive. These guys are still catching up to him.
Just a solid run at the end. Lucas Lyons, you know, he was, if you gave a look at probably the lap charts based on speed, median speed, throughout the entire race, Lyons might be the winner, but he was not, of course, the first to take that checkered flag, not the first to cross the line. That was because in the final quarter of the race, Benjamin Stevens ran away with it. Just a solid job from him in that 24 machine. And, you know, coming into this race, he had one win. This now ties him with Jeremy Gardner for the most wins over the course of the first 6 races in the season. Both of them have 2 wins. So a bunch of drivers are still waiting to be locked into the playoffs. Duke, Stevens, Bieber, and Gardner, the only 4 so far.
Yeah, it's heating up now. It's getting good. It's always a great show that the INVETS Trucks Series puts on. And I think here in a moment we're going to step aside and we're going to get some interviews with these guys.
Yeah, we will be right back here on Maconi Entertainment. Benjamin Stevens performing some burnouts. We'll be back to talk about the podium finishers.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Benjamin Stevens wins it here at Kentucky Speedway in GoatLocker Racing action, the INVETS Trucks Series on Maconi Entertainment. And it's now time we look at the full results. Stevens by almost 3 seconds over Lucas Lyons. JJ Moore holds on, I should say, to that podium spot by 16 thousandths over Chance Taylor, Tyler Justice, Michael McCarthy, Andrew Player, Craig Bontrager, Brett Bieber, and Brandon Wallace. Nice job by both Bieber and Wallace to get those top 10 finishes there, as we see Matt Knighties in 11th, Scott Gilroy in 12th, Charles Abert, Colton Lanford, James Kaufman, David Duke. Oh, what an upsetting run for him after getting pole position. Falls back to 16th after a late race incident that he was able to save his truck from any damage. Jacob Ellingson, Bobby Germain, Tommy Lemley, 19 drivers on the lead lap. Jeremiah Mullins finishes in 20th place, while Mac Brown 1 lap down along with him. Kendorian Davis 2 laps down, not good for his playoff hopes. Johnny Cofield also 2 laps down. Mark Hollyfield, Doug Ellingson 3 laps down. Jeremiah Hope 11 laps down, and George Jewell 33 laps down in 27th. Well, Benjamin Stevens is locked in and ready to go here in the broadcast booth. We'll grab him in to talk just real quick. A quick dash to the end that Benjamin, you did a fantastic job in taking care of and pulling out to a 3-second advantage. Your second win of the season. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I honestly, with like the first win in this series and then the second one, I think I enjoyed this one a lot more because we had the strategy call to make with. We were going to originally call the strategy of just taking fuel only there and then pitting with like 20 to go just to get a tire advantage. And then the caution came out, which threw a wrench in that strategy. So it's like, you know what, we got to come get tires anyway. And ultimately, at the end, it just worked out really well. But that was some awesome racing there towards the end.
Were you surprised that you were able to pull out to such a big lead off the bat?
Yes and no. Yes, because sometimes my pace on early on isn't the best, and then, but no, at the same time, because I did have like at almost 10 lap fresher tires than the two guys that were running in front of me for most of the race. So it just kind of boiled down to the fresher tires at the end of the day. Once we got that all got the tire advantage, it was game on.
Well, Benjamin, it definitely looks like you're rolling your way into the playoffs. Just a few more races to go. Give you the chance to thank all the partners and sponsors that make it happen, and I hope you do thank PBR for that one.
Yeah, I kind of had that as running as something for my dad than anything else because he drinks PBR all the time. I'm more of a Busch Light kind of guy, so I
You
might
can't
have to
go wrong
have-
with either, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I definitely do.
The truck all night.
Yeah, but I might as well have a PBR now.
There you
or
go.
something.
The proper way to celebrate with that paint scheme.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Benjamin, congratulations once again on the victory. It was definitely well deserved.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for the broadcast.
Of course. And thank you again, Benjamin Stevens, winner here at Kentucky Speedway. Shane, you're alongside both our second and third place finishers. Lucas Lyons had a really solid run for himself in this one.
Yes, sir. We got Lucas Lyons in the 17 truck. Lucas obviously came one spot short. What would you say is the biggest challenge that you faced during the race, and what do you think made the difference between finishing second and getting that win from the 24 truck?
I think I just kind of messed up my strategy there at the end. I should have taken tires on that, I want to say the first caution, and probably should have held on to it, thinking that there was going to be another caution. But just having 10 lap older tires and Benjamin there at the end definitely cost me a lot. I mean, he pulled out to a whole different zip code.
Definitely had a tough task in terms of trying to run him down. Was there a key moment at all? Obviously, that last restart, you said you were at tire disadvantage, but you were able to get a really great jump on that restart. Did you think that maybe you could hold that gap and get the win tonight?
If it went green, I was a little bit short on fuel, about 5 laps. So I was kind of hoping to get up front and save fuel, but that other caution just kind of threw a big wrench in my plans there.
All right, Lucas. Well, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
I'd like to thank Top Tier Apparel, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Asphalt Supplies and Service, SM Racing Products. If you use code BANDITS1, you can save a little bit at checkout. Southeast Tutoring, got our home loan to you all for putting this on. INVETS, all the sponsors over here at GoatLocker, they're probably some of the best sponsors I have the ability to race with league-wise.
All right, Lucas. Well, thanks for taking some time and talking with us. Congrats on a runner-up finish, and we'll hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and jump over now to P3. We got JJ Moore headed our way here. JJ Moore coming home P3 in the 45 truck. JJ brought it home third. What do you think could have moved you up from third to challenge for the win? We saw you have some moments there late, because was it tires or were there other factors?
Yeah, it's I think it was just tires, honestly. As those that double caution, me and the 17 both just took tires that first one. I didn't expect there to be a second caution. I didn't expect there to be any caution. I thought my game plan from the start was pretty good, but that caution came out and threw off the strategy, and I started questioning. And then that second caution came out, everyone else took tires, and it was just a tire game. I think I could have had the speed to win, but it's kind of just a strategy deal.
Yeah, definitely. We were also talking in the booth. We weren't sure if there were going to be any cautions at once or at one point. Obviously, a little frustrating to come up third, but what are the main positive takeaways from tonight?
Well, one of the positives that I had good speed. I'm saying usually on these mile and a halves, no matter what car I'm in, I've always struggled with speeds, or whatever size the Kentucky Oval is. It's like a mile and a third, I think. I've always struggled with speed, struggled with saving tires. I was able to keep up front. I was able to save the tires I needed to. I felt like I had good speed. And yeah, I just had a fun time. It was good racing. It was clean between all of us. Yeah, it was just a good time.
All right, JJ, is there anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank all the sponsors, all the people that run GLR. I know I'm not necessarily someone that knows all of them, but I know they put in a lot of work and they get a lot of things done for GLR. So I want to thank them all. I want to thank y'all for streaming it. As good of a stream as it is, it's cool to be on a live stream. Thank all the teammates I got. I only had one race with me tonight, Ken Davis. He ran out of fuel at the end, but I want to thank him for being there with me. And then thank everyone that raced for being clean. It was one of the better races I've ever ran.
All right, JJ, well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, so hopefully we'll be talking again soon, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, it is a really solid day when you see all of the drivers in this track or on this track put everything they've got into it to win here at Kentucky Speedway. Of course, we talked to our podium, but Brandon Wallace, it's his birthday. So let's give him a quick shout out. Racing in the 99, got that top 10 for him, and it was a lot of fun seeing him slice and dice his way through the field as the laps wound down. But that's pretty much it here from Kentucky Speedway. Next week, we will be going to Watkins Glen International, some road course racing, the lefts and rights here at this wonderful racetrack in the Seneca Valley. It's just awesome. I love this racetrack. Underneath the Finger Lakes, Watkins Glen, it's always a treat. And with the trucks, it's going to be even more fun. But I gotta say, Shane, that was fun here tonight.
Absolutely. We saw a great show. We were definitely thinking we might not see a caution at one point tonight, but definitely saw more brew than expected. It caused some drama for us, and I'm definitely excited to see what Watkins Glen has to offer. It's probably my favorite road course that NASCAR heads to.
Well, it will be tons of fun. That's going to be next Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern on Maconi Entertainment. Of course, got to give some shout outs to all of our partners here at Maconi Entertainment and GoatLocker Racing, INVETS, Lincoln Tech, and Jam Printing and Promotions. A lot of fun racing at Kentucky Speedway under the lights. This mile-and-a-half racetrack certainly provided the entertainment. 2 cautions, both weird-looking incidents, but nonetheless set up a nice run to the finish with a lot of fun and lots of excitement. Watkins Glen will provide a very similar amounts, 4 races to go here. From myself, Dylan Coyle, joined alongside Shane Monday and DJ in the production booth. This has been a presentation on Maconi Entertainment, and we're excited to bring you more action next week. Join us again for GLR action in INVETS Truck Series.